Hey Matthew, we're going to be going back together with your 6L80 starting today, so wanted to give you a quick rundown of all the parts we're going to be installing, everything we're going to be doing to the transmission so you know what's happening. So for anybody else watching, Matt has a 2014 Chevy Silverado. It's a 4x4, so we're going to be giving him a level 1 build. So for anybody that's wondering what all goes into my standard 6L80 and 90 builds, well, this is going to be the video that walks you through everything I do to these transmissions. And this should be considered a baseline, in other words, a bare minimum of what these transmissions require, in my humble opinion, to be rebuilt properly, completely, and correctly. So start off here on the right side of the bench, work our way left. We have our paper rubber slash overhaul kit along with a new filter. And then the first new part we're going to come to of any significance is going to be this heavy-duty parking rod assembly that GM started producing in 2018 for 2018 model year vehicles. Part number is 242-80048, and I retro this part into every 6L80 I build that's not a 2018 or newer. And there's an equivalent part for the 6L90s as well. Now, the reason that GM started to produce that is the parking rod assembly that went into all these transmissions prior to would have problems breaking with this rivet failing here at the very end of the assembly on the parking pole actuator. And so when that would occur, this part of the parking rod would literally separate from the rest of it, and you would not be able to put the vehicle in the park. So obviously that's catastrophic, especially if that happens when you have to park on a grade of some sort. All right, as you guys know, if anyone watching this has been following me for any length of time, you know that I always replace all my electrical components in all transmissions I build, with very, very, very few exceptions. So this one is no exception. So here we have the speed sensor harness assembly. It's a 242-84707. This is for 2012 and up model year transmissions, 6L80 and 90, that have the uni-gear style rear ring gear assembly. So the rear ring gear and output shaft is one whole part, and you'll see it in a little bit if you're not familiar with it. And it comes with instructions that inform you how to tell the difference between the uni-gear and non-uni-gear style output shaft slash rear ring gear assembly. So this here is our internal mode switch. And then here we have a brand new OEM General Motors TEHCM. I don't purchase reman units. I know that Sonics and Street Smart and a few others make them. My default is to brand new OEM. So these come from the factory bricked or dumb. In other words, there's no operating software or version of your operating system software loaded onto them. So when you install a transmission, fill it up with fluid and get everything set to go, you have to actually have this program to the vehicle so that it will control the transmission. All right, these do have a $100 core charge. This is the box that the old one will go back in, so it can go back to GM. And then from a pump perspective, we completely go through the pump, like completely. So we remachine both castings, stator support, as well as the bell slash pump body. And we also install brand new pump vanes, a brand new rotor guide. If in the event, I should say, that the rotor and slide have either failed or otherwise excessively worn, they will be replaced with a brand new General Motors OEM rotor and slide. Okay, so we're also going to be installing Sonic Zip Kit, as well as the updated Sonic's pressure regulator drop-in oversized valve. This comes with everything you'll need to refresh the pressure regulator valve. A lot of these units come in where the PR valve is heavily worn. Now, if the valve is so worn that it's, for example, the balance spool end or any of these other lands are, they resemble cam lobes as opposed to being round, then I would not install a drop-in valve. I would just ream the casting for an oversized valve or replace the stator support entirely if you don't have the reamers. All right, and then continuing with the pump, we have the Sonic's oversized pump stator thrust washer kit. So this is just a bag of 3. They're all the same. You install one of these on any 6L80 or 90 pump where the pump castings have been machined. So it's common practice to remove 10/1000ths from the deck of the body, 10/1000ths from the rotor slide pocket, and 10/1000ths off the stator support surface. And what that does is it effectively shrinks the pump down by 20/1000ths as measured from front to back. So by installing this washer, which is 20/1000ths thicker than the factory washer, you maintain the 3.5R clutch drum end float amount or spacing so that it's not excessively, able to move and otherwise thrust forward and backward, which, could be dangerous to bearings. So you preserve that relationship of end float when you install one of these thrust washers. And I know it was a horribly discombobulated explanation. Sorry about that. All right, moving on. We're also going to be installing a Superior Tech shim kit for adjusting our front end play. We like to get that down to between 4 and 6 thousandths of an inch. From the factory, these transmissions usually come with anywhere from 15 to 30 thousandths. At least in my experience, that's what I see from most of them. All right, new pump vanes, new rotor guide, and then Transgo's unbreakable pump ring kit. So that will round out everything we're doing with the pump. One thing I like about this kit is it comes with a high pressure or pressure relief spring. According to Transgo, and I've read this elsewhere as well, the pressure relief spring and pressure relief ball, which sit right here in the stator support, that spring tends to wear out over time. And so Transgo has stated they've seen many of those broken, so they came up with a replacement spring for it. All right, moving on down to the rest of the unit, starting with the 3.5R drum itself. So I always install a brand new snap ring kit for the return piston assemblies in the 3.5R and 4.56 clutch drums. So the part number is 242-60139, and this is designed for earlier 6L80s and 90s, but it will prospectively install into any year. So the original snap rings can fatigue, and and I guess either really high mileage units or transmissions that have been, just seen a hard life, and they could potentially break. So you just want to mitigate that risk with a new snap ring kit. All right, clutch and steel module. So all Borg-Warner. The factory clutches are actually very good. So the Borg-Warner, this is our 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch. And then right behind it's the 3.5R clutch. And then we have the 4.56 clutch over here. And then low reverse, brand new frictions and steels, as well as the 2.6 clutch. All right, so if you were doing something more high performance than, something like, I don't know, maybe engine power is 500 plus, and you wanted something a little bit beefier from a clutch module perspective, you can run a Circle D level 2 or 3 kit, depending on how much money you want to spend. Or you can even kind of go halfway to the Circle D kit, assuming you have a 6L80, and install a 3.5R high cap apply ring, which eliminates the wavy plate and adds one more friction and steel to this clutch pack, as well as the Sonic's 4.56 high cap piston kit, which eliminates the wave plate here and adds one more friction and one more flat steel. Now, if you're going to do that, particularly with the 4.56 clutch, you have to turn off the air bleed in the 4.56 shift table, okay? Because the air bleed works in combination with this cushion plate. So if you don't do that, you might have problems. All right, so we put all new bushings in this transmission. So this is the kit I used, the Durabond DB104030A. These are good bushings, so new bushings in the stator, front and rear, new bushings in the pump body for our torque converter hub, new 3.5R bushing, new bushings here in the 3.5R clutch hub. Get that back in there without making a ton of noise. New bushings in the center support, and one new bushing in the output shaft, and then a bushing there, a little pilot bushing in the input shaft. All right, the only bushing I typically don't replace in these transmissions unless it's damaged or worn is going to be the rear case bushing, and that's simply because that bushing is most of the time not wore out, especially in 4x4 units. Two-wheel drives I see a little bit more worn, 4x4s not so much. And the reason I don't replace that bushing just automatically is because a lot of the times the aftermarket bushing will not actually provide as good a fitment as the original factory bushing. So if it's not worn and there's nothing wrong with it and it provides better fitment, then why replace it? So that's the way I think about it. I've never ever had one come back because of a bushing failure back there due to failure to replace the factory bushing. All right, so let's talk about apply pistons and balance pistons. So here we have a Sonex billet 1234 apply piston. So every 6L80i build receives one of these pistons. It doesn't matter what year it is. And the reason being is that the early pistons have a tendency to crack. So this is the original factory piston. They've revised the design over the years, I don't know how many times, a handful of them. And as you can see, this was manufactured on April 12th of 2016 at 2:14 a.m. So this is a 2015 model year unit, so that tells us that this transmission was rebuilt at some point in the past. You know, I'm not sure. I'd have to check with Matt to see when it was done, if he knows. But needless to say, we don't see anywhere near the amount of cracking in the later model apply pistons for the 1234 clutch. But the early ones, I mean, you see them all the time. Okay, brand new molded piston kit. So you're going to have a balance piston for your 1234 clutch. It goes in like that. And then for your 456 clutch, you're going to have a balance piston, which is this one here. And then you're going to have your apply piston, which is this one here. Part number is 242-32416. So never reuse your molded pistons. Okay, so moving further on down, we have our rear Sprag assembly with a brand new 38 element Sprag clutch. So Borg Warner. Part number is 50307AM, and this is the only Sprag that I would recommend you install. There may be other companies making them. I don't know. Rebestos makes Sprags too, so, and I've used theirs in the past for other transmissions. I've never had issues. So either Borg Warner or Rebestos are going to be, you know, the two options for you as far as reliability. All right. What else? Spacer plate. So brand new spacer plate from GM. Bought it at the same time I bought the TEHCM. This is the part number for the spacer plate. It's 242-72467. And it comes with factory check balls, the bag of 8. We're not going to use these. We're going to use the Torlon check balls that come in the Sonic Zip kit. So the spacer plate underwent 3 main design changes, and this sheet that comes with your spacer plate, if you buy it from GM, will walk you through on how to tell which one is which and, you know, what years are applicable. But the bottom line is whenever you're ordering any transmission parts, or really any parts from General Motors directly, say at the dealership, what you want to do is provide the parts guy the last 8 characters of the VIN, and he will sell you exactly what you need for your vehicle or your engine or transmission or whatever it is you're working on. And this way there's, you know, no mistakenly buying the wrong parts or parts that either are outdated or don't work, or in worst case scenario, and we've seen this now numerous times on Amazon and eBay, counterfeit parts. So, all right. Talked about the case. I mean, there's nothing else really to mention about it other than the bushing. So, Matt, that is the deal with your 6L80. For anyone else watching this, this is a complete level 1 rebuild that I offer for all stock to even mild performance applications. In the case of the latter, I would put a 456 piston kit and a 35R high cap apply ring from Sonex in those builds. But this one's a stock vehicle, so it'll get a nice, robust stock level 1 build. Matt, thank you so much for the opportunity, man. Greatly appreciate it. Anyone else, if you have any questions, just go ahead and leave them below, and I'll respond as soon as I can. Thanks again. And Matt, I'll keep you posted on Facebook as to progress.